Hey guys, it's Flark. And at the end of last season, I queued a lot of Unholy. I queued a lot of competitive Unholy. We had a pretty solid end to the season, over 3,200 CR, and we even queued into this RMP, one of the best RMPs in the game, 3,400 MMR. These guys are very top tier players, and we won. But I still made a lot of mistakes. In fact, my team did, not just me. So I figured this would be the perfect VOD to review, because of course we had to play out of our minds to beat a 3,400 RMP, but there's still all of those mistakes that show there's so much room for improvement. Maybe we could beat these guys more than once. We could beat them 100 times if we improve these things, right? So that's what I think the power of VOD review is, to see some of the great things that lead to a play against a win against elite players, but also some of the things that it's like, everybody can improve that. I can learn a lot from this, and maybe you guys can learn something too. So I picked this clip, thought it'd be a great idea, and here we go. So of course, starting things off, we'll do the VOD review here. We're gonna run Raise A-Bomb into Rogue Mage. I always do, and it's because it's gonna do this, right? And as you spin my character around, you can see the mage is now out of stealth, right? So what does this do? Gives us combat, so we can't get snapped. Pulls them out of stealth, so they can't open in the way they want to. I mean, you guys have queued into RMP, right? What do? They zap one, cheap the other, get into the third, mage comes out right at top of you, perfect position for CC, combusts into you, they get every cooldown in the game. So you can disrupt that with Raise A-Bomb. Wow, he also does damage, which is great against Rogue Mage because they hate sustained damage, and applies wounds for more clawing, which means more sustained damage. So it's literally perfect against Rogue Mage, that's why I run it. Of course, we get the pull out there, so. But here's my mistake, actually, right in the beginning of the game. One of my biggest mistakes here is going into this room without AMS on me. I can go into this room. I want to disrupt their opener. If I get a chains on this guy over here in Africa, he's never getting to my HPAL to open on him, because of course that's what they want to go. They have Purge for Bop, they have MD for Bubble. Of course they want to hit him, but only if I AMS in there. Now, if I AMS aggressively like that, I still have IBF, Lichborn, Trinket, Zone, Death Strikes. Probably won't die to pressing one button on a 1 minute cooldown, and it does save enormous amount of problems that are going to come from me getting Dragon's Breath into Sheep, right? So now I have to Trinket AMS, because if I don't, I'm going to get re-CC'd on my Trinket, and that's terrible. So I could have saved Trinket by doing the exact same position and then just AMSing, right? That's how it makes so much sense to pre-AMS. It feels foolish, but when you end up having to press like 6 buttons at the same time and panic, you realize how good it is to throw out AMS, even if, why did you just AMS there? 10 seconds of CC immunity is why somebody would AMS there, and that's why I should have done it. So now I have to get over to him for the zone. This is not combust, but it's mind games, priest damage, and the mage still sends damage, and of course, my HPAL is calling for it. So that's the biggest reason why zone, generally, I pair it up with combustion every time, but you gotta trust your teammates. So I do zone here at high health. You can see it comes out, high health. The priest damage is going to be severely limited. The shadow blades is going to get limited, and the mage's damage is going to get limited, and he should live this, and he does. So now here comes Lim, APOC, and he's going to alter, but I'm going to keep him changed. You can see I don't overcommit by like sprinting behind this pillar, because I know he's going to get altered. Then my A-Bomb Lim grips him right back, and we just do an enormous amount of damage to this mage. Here's Ring. Juke's kick, we get a triple blind, we run away from the blind so we don't break it, and here comes the damage. Soul Reaper might proc, nope, gets the Guardian proc though, which is really good, and here comes Combustion. So, best thing I can do here is probably just babysit the mage. There's nothing I'm gonna really do to disrupt this rogue, right? If I grip him, he steps. Congratulations. Keeping chains on him is good. Probably could do that more. Keeping chains on the mage is very good. Keeping chains on the priest is also good. It's really the mage, right? Because if we ever line him around this fat pillar at Mugambala, it takes him half an hour to get back, which is actually a huge amount of stalling, because if the rogue has to hold kidney DRs, they're losing a lot of pressure, right? So keep chains on him. HPAL says he's fine. We trust him. And now, once again, as we saw, take the gateway. Mage has chains on him. Here probably comes the good time for a grip. Absolutely, right? There's the grip chains on the priest. And this is actually pretty solid play, right? Because the priest wants to do goes with the rogues. Everybody's trying to do damage. If you've ever played against an RMP, you know everybody is trying to do damage to the kill target. Mind games, Holy Fire, Chastise, Purges, MD. Rogue damage, mage damage, right? So that grip chains keeps them away from our guy. We get a stun on the priest who has no trinket. So we still continue to get pressure and keep them in place. Now we have a stun of the mage who has no trinket, and there's the grip. So this is the hardest part of the game right here, deciding, I'm going to have to be fast and loose with my cooldowns here, and this is one of the biggest parts of it. Actually, I could have taken the gate up there, by the way. Another misplay. Not used to playing with a lock. This is the first time. Really could have just taken the gate. But you can see AMS is coming back up, and it's time maybe. I have no trinket. That's why it's scary. But it's time maybe to start thinking about, okay, I have to AMS aggressively. I have to IBF aggressively. Because look at this. Who's the kill target on this team? Holy Paladin. Not Death Knight. Now, they could swap to me. They're genius players, 3,400 MMR. But if I just let my HPAL die when I have AMS and IBF available, that could have prevented CC, that could help me peel goes, then that's also foolish, right? So that's a crunch time for me. You're going to see, we're going to try and take note of those cooldowns usage. But of course, Chains on Mage. Don't have a lot of damage right now. Chains on Priest. We're just trying to play Disruptive and stay alive because we'll eventually win. Neither have Trinket and A-Bomb Limb in 1 minute. There's a full poly on me. Maybe could have Lichborned it. I AMS the next one, as I said I would. Now we get some damage. We get the A-Bomb down. Swapping over to the Rogue. Fantastic play here. This is actually a call from my lock to swap. I was generally thinking about focusing the Mage because he has no Trinket. But Rogue, very, very good to go Rogue to peel him. You can see the Mage, Priest, and Rogue are all nowhere near the kill target. So this is a great time to get some pressure here. We get the APOC on him, get chains on the Priest, and probably chains on the Rogue. Got it before he goes around the pillar. Fantastic. And we're just looking for cooldowns now. We're just looking for our cooldowns. You can see Unholy Assault in 1 minute, A-Bomb in 30 seconds. It's a good time to get a late DR ring, it looks like there. So that's fantastic for us. Good time to just keep pressure up. Keep them chains. You can see this Rogue never leaves chains here. We get an asphyxiate on him. I'm trying to get his trinket. We're looking for a fear there, but I was going to break it anyway because it's the only thing in the tri-state area that I can attack. You never go Priest and Rogue, Mage Priest, because there's an off chance they could be running Res Legendary and then you used everything to kill him just to find out you have to kill him again through everything. Very silly. But yeah, stun here. He kicks me. That's kind of decent. I have a caster on my team and an HPAL. It's good for him to not have kicks. I don't really need the Fleshcraft. We keep this guy slowed. Here is the kidney, and all I have to do is live this. You can see I IBF'd an AMS like I said I would to keep pressure high and keep us aggressive and to keep the Rogue off of our HPAL. And as a result, the Priest's mana is quickly dwindling, and A-Bomb Limb is quickly coming back up. So if I live this, we win, and it's actually kind of on my lock to do that. And he gets a fear on the Mind Games. Another fear after that, and I'm completely fine. A Death Striker 2 should keep me alive, and that's fantastic play from my Warlock. Just the Mind Games was what's going to kill me, right? The Mind Games is what's going to kill me. If he gets a Mind Games off and I have to Death Strike coming out of that kidney, it kills me. So perfect fear from my lock. And here's Combustion. You can see I don't have Zone for 5 seconds, so no point pressing that, because by the time I have it back up, it's going to be pointless. We got a stun on the Rogue into Coil. Again, really fantastic setups. From my lock, and now I'm going to limb go here, and that's Evasion, Trinket, Cloak, Maneuver. That's a lot of buttons from this Rogue. So now Rogue's just made himself kill target, and this is what you kind of have to do into RMP. So a lot of just looking at the game right now. So let's talk about some stuff that we've learned. A lot of people ask me, what's the kill target against blah, 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 right? And that's a silly question, right? I mean, unless one class is just completely the squishiest, most glass cannon class in the game, like maybe a Windwalker Monk, and the other one's immortal, like a Feral Druid, Prop Pally, you would go Windwalker, right? But most of the time, it's situational awareness, right? The Mage was target for most of the first part of the game because with simply chains and grip, I can keep him off my H-Pally forever. But with swaps to the Rogue, we might be able to get cooldowns out of him that he desperately needs to live, especially against a sustained damage comp like this one. So now, the Rogue has made himself a target, and we need to sit him for pretty much the rest of the game. Right now, you can see I'm rooted. I'm just tabs, chains, tabs, chains, tabs, chains. I D&D the Rogue out. That was a sick play. I saw him go stealth up there. I knew exactly where he was, and this pullout actually is going to start winning us the game, because now he doesn't get an open. He's immediately changed away from my H-Pal, and we can start doing damage to him again. There's the asphyxiate on this go. I mean, this is clean. This is clean. Again, I already drilled myself at the beginning for a very foolish misplay, and this though, this is clean, right? The pullout into the chains disrupt that go for just long enough for his fix to come on no trinket. And this could be kill, right? I mean, he's going to get a lot of damage done to him right now if this rogue is out of that stun. But instead, look at this. He gets taken below half health with only one of them. I mean, the rogue does the other half, right? Or the priest probably does the other half when he gets here. All right, so great stun into half stun, and the pressure comes out here. And that's actually pet stun into kill. He probably could have lived there. He probably could have lived, but the Asphyx no trinket, pulling him out, knowing where he is, knowing the kill target, right? It looked like Mage was the kill target, not even close at the end, right? And the stun on no trinket to both feel the go and then to recognize that we have kill pressure. Maldiva coming in with the half stun, that's fantastic. And then the pet stun quarter disrupts his last global to kill, right? I think that's a really smart play because, you know, rogues, they're slippery. If he gets one heal, a Guardian, a Holy Word Serenity, sprints behind the pillar, lines everybody and gets a re-stealth, well, he ain't dead, right? So that pet stun, just that little pseudo to make sure that he stays in range for the kill, ends up finishing the game. And that felt pretty easy, right? Yeah, Demo DK does very good into Rogue Mage. But this wasn't a pushover Rogue Mage, right? It's not. It is as we can see, by the end of this, hopefully, there it is. 3381, just on the cusp of a 3400 MMR RMP. This is good stuff. It's good team. So, good plays against this comp. And it's a popular comp, so this was a great one to pick, right? Chains everything. I could do that even better. Of course, you have to fight with rune management because it's not as simple as just chains tab, chains tab, chains tab, chains tab, chains tab. Eventually, one of those globals has to be a damaging ability, right? So maybe not perma chains, but the really important, right? The priority targets. When a priest is going in for a fear, chains, grip chains, right? That one grip chains. Mage, keep him away, chains. Rogue, when you're swapping to him, don't let him just re-stealth all the time. Keep the chains up. All right? More plays, pre-AMSing, CC, when you're not the kill target. At the beginning, completely whiffed it. At the end, got a good one to help get a go with Maldiva that he set up to start turning the pressure onto the rogue, which ended up getting every cooldown out of him, which ended up giving us the win. Those are some good things. Some other good things. Zone, high health, when your healer calls for it. That's something I could do a lot better. In this game, it came. You saw it, 90%. Save some cooldowns there. Some other good things. Be smart with your targets. Priest, probably not the target. Things might change this season. As I record this, I'm going right into the start of the new season. But Priest could have Res Legendary. You're letting a Rogue Mage do whatever you want if you go Priest as well. But Rogue and Mage, very squishy to sustain damage, but they both are. See who has cooldowns. See, does he have Caught? What did we get out of him? Does he have Block? No Block. Go him. Who has Trinket? Who doesn't? The Rogue doesn't have Cloak. Evasion. Swap to him. Swapping is good too, because it means you're always hitting the thing in the right position. Let's say the Mage is across the map and the Rogue is right next to you, right? You swap to the Rogue, get cooldowns out of him now, make him a better target in the future. Maybe he's not a good target now because he has Cloak and Evasion, but if the Mage is in Africa and you want to hit things on your way over there, you can swap like this and get those cooldowns you're going to need later. CC on the Priest. You saw his fix. Chains to keep him away from everybody. You have Strang. You have Fears. Fear on that Mind Game's incredible play from my Warlock, keeping the game going so we can live, play another game. Kicks, you know, it's good. Keep kicks on the priority target. You got Poly, if it's necessary, right? Sometimes you're playing with a Druid. He says to only ring. That's a call out. Only ring, right? Because if you kick the Poly, it's meaningless, so you kick ring. Sometimes you want to hold it for the healer. If you have a ton of pressure, he has no trinket. What's the point? Stun the Mage, get that kill pressure. Stun the Rogue, get that kill pressure. Do damage and kick a heal instead of the Mage. It's not always just Mage. Sometimes you kick fire, like if he's casting Ring of Fire and he's about to combust. If you kick him on fire, you're delaying their go. Then maybe you stun him out of that. You're delaying it even further. There's a lot of situational choices, right? It's a short game, but it's a cool game. And, I'm not going to be able to see absolutely everything that goes on, but maybe as you're watching through this, you can watch through a few times. If you care to do that, you can see some other things that maybe went wrong or some things that went really well that you're like, oh, I didn't even think about that. What about Lichborn on a Poly? Did I do that in that game? Did you know that you could? Maybe there was a Poly I could have seen that he was casting and get a Lichborn on that. Maybe I could have pre-Lichborn the poly that I got dispelled on a little late because he's kill target, right? That could have saved me 3 seconds. We could also just save it for fear. Didn't look like there was a lot of fears going out on me that game. Just a lot of things that you can get from these VOD reviews, some self-critique. Just make sure you keep pressure up, you keep the situational awareness high, and that you always learn from your mistakes. And I hope you guys have a great season. Peace.